Well, as I've been alluding to over the last couple of weeks in the vlog and also the live streams, I'm currently in a build-up for a couple of events that I'm personally going to find very, very challenging. They're real-world events and I'm undertaking them alongside Ed Laverack, albeit I think his times are going to be somewhat more impressive than mine. Now, the first of those events is called Grimpee Alpe, and basically it's a time trial up Alpe d'Huez. And of course, most of us know Alpe d'Huez pretty well, virtually, courtesy of Zwift. Basically 13 kilometers, 1,150 meters of climbing, and looking for a good time on that. So my threshold and bringing up my threshold is going to be super important for that. And as it happens, Ed has scheduled a disgusting threshold workout that's going to come in about 20 minutes for me, very shortly for you. Then 2 days later in the same region, there is the world's most famous Gran Fondo, and it's called La Marmotte. And that's a very different animal. It comprises 175 kilometers, 5,000 meters of climbing up 4 categorized climbs. You're spending 60 kilometers in the climb. And a goal time in Gran Fondo speak for someone aged 40 to 49 is 8 hours 39 minutes. And I would like to get a gold standard time. So that's my objective there. If you're 10 years younger, I think it's 8 hours 13 or less. So clearly, the kind of cycling fitness I need for that is a little bit different. I think it's more about sweet spot and tempo, laying down an infernal pace over a long distance on the climb. Obviously, I'll be taking it nice and easy on the descents. And so what I'm really looking forward to doing over the next 2 months is documenting in detail the cycling training that Ed's scheduling, the strength training that I'm scheduling, and the nutrition that I'm scheduling in order to prepare me for that event in terms of building endurance, WKG, but also having a little bit of fun along the way. Now, as a cyclist living in central London, in all honesty, it is quite time consuming to kind of make your way out of central London to go somewhere nice for a long ride. Additionally, my job is quite demanding, and therefore I hugely value both the convenience but also just how effective indoor cycling is in terms of building fitness. Therefore, the majority of my training is going to be on Zwift and road grand tours, that kind of thing. I'll probably be trying to get at least one outdoor ride per week, most likely at one of the closed circuits that are now open. And in part, that's why I undertook version 2 of Ed's epic tempo training in Regent's Park the other weekend. However, the bulk of the cycling training is going to be virtual, and along the way I'm going to have a couple of little virtual challenges that I think are relevant towards getting me to the objective. In particular, a goal time on La Marmotte. And one of those will comprise 4 ascents of Alpe de Zwift consecutively, and the only recovery being the descent. I will accept the descent as part of this in order to bring the heart rate down, and I want to do that at 4 watts a kilogram for each ascent. Now, Keith Robertson has done this before and he said it is properly challenging, and if he says it's challenging, I know it's going to be a tough one. But I reckon if I can do that, that's kind of 4,500, 4,600 meters of climbing, around about 52 kilometers. Yeah, that's a very relevant challenge in comparison to what I'm going to have to do in La Marmotte. So looking forward to that. In terms of fun, I'm going to be getting down to Minehead, com hunting territory, and I also may find my way to the hill they call Box. But plenty to look forward to, but in particular looking forward to documenting the rationale for the cycling training, the nutrition and the all-body strength training as to how myself and Ed believe it will be accretive towards both of those objectives. Just going to finish my warm-up now, and we're going to hit the first training, which focuses on threshold, and it's not a nice one. Now, yesterday was Sunday, during which I completed 1 hour of zone 2 on the drops just to get used to being in a more aero position, after which the intent was to complete an all-body strength training. However, I only completed the lower body element of that. So first thing this morning, I completed the upper body element. So we're going to whiz you back in time to see both the lower body work on Sunday and the upper body work first thing this morning. A. That's another rep of progress. Happy with that. Well, welcome back. And as I promised, this is going to be a tough one. It's an Ed Laverack training, focused very much on my threshold, as is the one on Wednesday. And I reckon we're starting this little block of 2-month training with Ed taking a look under the hood to see if my FTP has deteriorated from 299, and there is a good chance of that, I think. Anyway, back to the training. It's going to comprise 3 blocks of 10 minutes. In each block, the first 2 minutes is at 120% of FTP, i.e. 360 watts. No problem there. But then we transition into 8 minutes at FTP, i.e. 300 watts. Repeating 3 times with 7 minutes of recovery. And boy, am I going to need that 7 minutes of recovery between each of the efforts. So, while I undertook the upper body training and the zone 2 fasted, I've most definitely onboarded some fast digesting carbohydrates in order to fuel the training. Plus, I've got some in the bottle here. I'm going to go for the first 2 minutes at 120% on 39. Now, the objective will be to stay seated and try and get a nice cadence. I'm not going to chase the watts, just going to find the cadence and the gear that gets me them. Hoping that 2 minutes hard like this will make the 8 minutes at 300 feel okay-ish. You could of course do this on ERG or erg mode. Probably a good one for that. I'm doing it manual. Transition. Gotta cling on here and trust it will come good. Very hard work. Cadence feels good. Deep breaths. Try and control the heart rate. always easier on the hoods than the drops. For me, hip angle I think is a difference. Here's the lactic acid coming, just ahead of 5 minutes in total. Deep breaths into the core. Minutes. Lactic's still okay. I can feel I'm on that threshold, just the right side of the red. I'm about to commence the third block. I've reduced the rest from 7 minutes to 6 minutes before the second block, and it's 6 minutes before this third block. It is very difficult, this. Gonna go on 11 minutes at 120% of FTP now. Struggling to hit the 120. Right, dropping the gear didn't help. Get the cadence up. Don't chase the watts, chase the cadence. Settling now, finding the equilibrium. Telling myself it's easier than the Galibier from here on in. Less than the Swains lane to go. That's the first time Ed has scheduled hard efforts of anything more than 7 minutes since his sneaky little FTP test back in March. And I really enjoyed it. It was very exhilarating, extremely difficult, but as much a mental battle as a physical battle. And I think I was in the power ranges for all 3 blocks, save maybe I fell a bit short of the 120% of FTP in that 3rd block for the first 2 minutes, but I made up for it in the final 8 minutes. I was comfortably above 100% of FTP for that. And I think it bodes well overall for where my FTP currently is. We'll see what Ed says. So I've normalised power there of 295 watts over just over 42 minutes. That bodes well. It verifies the FTP benchmark I set during Ed's sneaky little FTP test back in March, albeit my weight has come down from 65 kilograms to 63 kilograms since then. So hopefully it's a nice little foundation from which I can build a bit over the next couple of months. Anyway, if you enjoyed the video, please do give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed, please do subscribe. I'm really looking forward to sharing my journey with you all, and also comparing notes in the live chat for the live streams and the comments, because I know many of us in the community are all individually preparing for our own Haute routes, Sportifs and Gran Fondos. So looking forward to sharing experiences and the build-up. Fingers crossed we get to ride our events.